Good morning. If you're here to join us for early morning yoga, this is the right place. If you're curious about early morning yoga, this is the right vehicle, as on December 1st, which could be today or before then, we're going to be having Bethany Goodson sharing some of her wonderful techniques to help you get your day started. Bethany's been in our teaching team for this season and has added a wonderful, insightful component to our accessible yoga practices. So we'd like to introduce you to Bethany and also encourage you to donate today, as we're doing a season of giving to support our programming in 2021. We have a board match for the first $5,000. Please be part of that. But in the meantime, let's meet and learn from Bethany. Good morning, Bethany.
Good morning.
Share about you. Tell us about what makes Mornings with Bethany special.
Well, having a morning routine has been really impactful for me personally. I have 3 kids under 5, and I quickly realized that the early mornings are my only protected time I might get all day. And I love being able to combine movement and meditation and journaling and offer that to students so that they can really benefit from mindfulness through different avenues and altogether integrated with a theme throughout them.
Mm-hmm. And what's some of the current themes that you're offering?
Well, it's been very sequential. So we started with being honest with how we felt and sitting with it, and moving from there, being able to differentiate between letting go and letting be, and how we might find benefits from both of those approaches. Mm-hmm. We explored having one thing that we're focusing on in a moment for an hour practice, for a day, for a season, and being able then to let be those other lists on our priorities or other goals in our lives, to really embrace one thing at a time. We explored surrender as the key to being fully present in the physical moment. Lots of things. I'd have to go back to my spreadsheet, but everything has been a step-by-step journey where people can pop in and receive value from each individual session. But if you're with us the entire time, it really all does link together.
Wow, that's so sweet. I mean, this is part of building some life back after such chaos that permeates persistently, is to have something with some structure from a teacher. So this is what makes your offering special. How else did you learn about, you call this yoga, and as a teacher, what would you offer for other teachers in this partnership?
Well, I first heard about You Call This Yoga. I was living in Colorado and knew I was about to move to North Carolina. And I really wanted to connect with an organization that focused on accessibility and inclusivity. So yours was the first organization that popped up, and the only one I found in the Triangle area. And I knew that for me, as a teacher, I wanted to be in a place of service. And I have experienced so much meaning in serving populations that are traditionally marginalized in Western yoga. So I knew that I wanted to be part of your organization in some form or fashion. So I'm really honored to be teaching with you all.
Well, Bethany, you earn all the trust that we have in you. And viewers, hopefully you'll be tuning in on the early morning, but we do record Bethany's classes. So if you'll check our yoga feast and also our video library on our YouTube channel, you could catch her maybe when you're more alert and ready for the good learnings. And that's why we ask you to donate. We're also doing raffles on December 1st for Day of Event donors. But before then, as we get ready for Bethany's class, Bethany, can you share a practice tip that you think would be meaningful for anyone, any time of day?
Sure. Something that I found very beneficial, especially during this moment in history, is when I'm feeling out of control, don't know what's happening, I pause and I ask myself, where's the ground? And I often look at the ground to help that connection with my vision. And then I ask myself, how am I connected to it? And just that process, maybe I'm in my car and I recognize I'm sitting in my seat, I'm in my car, it's connected to the wheels, to the ground. I know where the ground is. I know where I am in relation to it, or however I might be operating in that moment, but just pausing enough, making visual contact with wherever the earth is, and recognizing my connection to something steadier than how I might be feeling in that moment.
That's a big perspective. That's really insightful. I also felt just changing my posturing on my seat as you were speaking to regain my, what I feel is, some awareness of how I might be grounding, because I'm also looking to extend as I feel I'm shrinking. So it's an interesting, where are we coming from and where we're going is a really good point. So thank you. That's really helpful. And what about people that are curious to yoga that still may not understand about meditate? What might be a clarification of flow meditate journal and meditation as you would present it?
Meditating, as I present it in class, I offer many different approaches, and I will guide the first 5 minutes with my voice, encouraging something to focus on mentally, visually, auditorily, with touch. And then the second half, the next 5 minutes, will be in silence. So for me, I try to make it accessible for anyone, whether you've never meditated before, but it's really about supporting ourselves in as much comfort and safety as possible so that we can find a sense of peace internally. So I encourage students, sit with your back against a wall, gather your pillows, your blankets, your comfy socks, cozy sweater. This doesn't have to be sitting upright, really rigid, clenching, trying to clear your mind, as it were. But let's relax the nervous system and do what we can to make it easier to access peacefulness internally. And so I'll offer different guided meditative visuals and cues throughout that process, and different things each class, so that if one time it doesn't click with you or connect with you, maybe the next time will. And I think that's a lot what I would encourage students who are new to yoga. If one style doesn't really fit, try something new. Try a different teacher. There's so many ways that yoga offers us benefits, and I really do believe that there is something out there for everyone.
Agreed. As a new meditator, I've just celebrated about a year of daily practice. I can appreciate just coming to the practice each day, because it is different, though I do have my own protocols and such. It is part of my grounding each morning. So I cherish what you're doing on a personal level.
And I find it much easier to meditate after we move. Traditionally, as yoga has taught us, to get out the wiggles, to get out the squirming, so that it is easier. Our nervous system does feel like we can sit in those moments. So that's very much part of how I have structured the class as well.
Excellent. I can appreciate that, and that's the good flow part. So, well, viewers, we're going to get ready for Bethany's class, or if this isn't early in the morning, you can also go to our donate page on the You Call This Yoga website and make a donation, where on December 1st, you can qualify for day of event raffles. We look forward to sharing Bethany on this Tuesday, as well as the rest of our autumn harvest of yoga and into the 2021. Thank you for launching this beautiful event, Bethany. You're part of our steadiness.
Thanks so much for having me.
We'll see you soon.